Hi guys, welcome back to my channel Skill-Set-Go. In the last video we have configured our in-memory database H2 and we have created a sample model with student class. So we have marked this as entity. It means a table will be created in a H2 database, in-memory database, and this is a primary key. So in this video we will see how to get the data from the database using a JPA or a repository. So first, to get the data from the database, we need to have some data before itself. As this is an in-memory database, we are using H2. Let's create one SQL file. Go to resources, right click, new, we need a file, search file, and here click on file. So just name the file as data.sql. And here you can write a insert query so that that data is inserted into the database before. So we can access this data using our REST API. So write the query insert into student values will be ID. Just say it is 101. Name, just say Ram, and score, let's say 234. That's it. We don't need to do anything else. If you run this application, there will be a student table and there will be a data with this, there will be a row with this data. So let's run this app. So here is saying port 8080 was already in use, so we need to relaunch the app, not run again. So now we have started 2 times. So we need to relaunch the app. We need to click this. So now we can check whether we got this data into the table or not. Let's go to H2 console. So localhost 8080 H2 console. Let's reconnect it. So this is the URL we need to use, same as URL in application properties. Let's connect it and let's do select star from student. So here, as you can observe, there is no row inserted. So we have inserted the values like order, ID, name and score, but here it is ID, score and name. Let's change the order, score 234 and name. So now relaunch the app again. Let's see whether data is there or not. So let's connect again. As we have relaunched, we need to connect every time. So select star from student. So here you can see we got the row, ID, score and name. So like this, let's have some 3 rows. Let's name Ramesh, let's name Suresh, score let's say it is 434, 534 and ID is 102 and 103. So as soon as we start this application, these 3 rows will be inserted into the data. So these 3 rows will get inserted into the database. If you want, let's relaunch the app and just see the data inside HT console. Just reconnect, connect again, right, select star from student. So here you can see we got 3 rows. Now we will have a REST API to get all these values. So first let's create a REST controller. Let's name it student controller and let's change the package to controller and finish. And first we need to mark this as REST controller. And inside this we can have a function which will get all the data. So we want list of students. Let's name it get students. and we need to return a list of students. So before this, we need to have a repository to fetch a data from the H2 database. So first let's create a repository. Let's create a new class, package, let's say DAO, and name student repo, and mark this as, when we need to create this as interface, let's change this to interface. So we can extend the CRUD repository class so that we will get all the APIs required to fetch data from the database or to insert data into the database. So let's extend CRUD repository. CRUD repository, and we need to tell the model class and the ID. The class we are fetching from is student, and it is integer. The ID is integer. So that's it. We no need to do anything else. If you fetch, so let's go to the controller, and here we can just say, so first we need to have a student repo variable. Let's have a student repo, let's name it repo, and we can say how to get the instance, just say auto void. So we have learned all the auto void or dependent concepts in the previous videos. So we can get all the data from the database from the table student using repo find all. So that's it. We will get all the data. So but this will return an iterator of student. So first let's return all the data as a string, then later we will see how to return as a JSON. So we will get an iterator, we can convert into string to string, and let's return it. So just have a toString method, just generate a toString, source toString generate. So we have an API which will get all the students data, but how can we access this method? We will have a get API at get mapping, and the URL is students. So let's execute and see, access the URL, whether we'll get data or not. Let's run this application, let's relaunch this. So the application got started. Let's access the URL. It is localhost 8080 and the URL is students. Let's enter it. As you can see, we have got all the data what we have inserted. So the best way to access all the REST APIs is a client Postman. Let's open Postman. Let's have localhost 8080 and students. As you can see, we have got all the data, but this data is not in a JSON format. As you can see, whatever we wrote in a toString method, that is returned. So we will see how to return a data in a JSON format in the next video, and how to use more features while getting data from the database. I hope you like this video. Please watch the rest of the videos for more tutorials. Thank you for watching.